What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinter Lens content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound, so come by and say hello. All right, I've gotten this question a couple times in the last few live streams that I have done, and I thought I would just make a video to kind of address it head on after doing a little digging into my own battle history and card preferences and things like that. But the question is essentially, which splinter or splinters should I focus on if I'm in bronze and silver? Well, I'm going to give you one answer today, and spoiler alert, you've probably seen it already because I have all of the cards pulled up, and that is water. I feel as though water is one of the best splinters for both bronze and silver. Now, getting into gold, things get interesting too, and I like a lot of these cards at gold, but I want to keep this on part of more of the starter level. So if people who are just coming to the game, just trying to figure out where they fit in and what their budget is, they can come in and make that determination. I personally feel like water is one of the most fun to play with. It's good in bronze, and it gets even better in silver. Now, when you get to gold and onwards, things get a little crazy. There's a lot of older OP cards that I've been struggling with, and again, we're in a wild kind of format now, so things could potentially change once modern format rolls around. But at least for bronze and silver, this is the splinter that I would probably want to focus on first, just because. And I know other people, and I'm actually curious to hear other people's opinions on what splinter they believe, but I've had a lot of success with my water team. And if you've seen some of the videos that I've posted recently about being able to beat Jotun, using speed and power to my advantage, this is definitely one of the decks for that. And water, like I've said, has one of the best synergies overall as a splinter within Chaos Legion. This also was further bolstered by Bakjira. Bakjira is actually awesome. Now, Bakjira gets really good at level 3 in terms of getting the self-heal, but just to have a 6-mana tank that can take in magic damage comes in super clutch, all right? So what are my main reasons? Well, probably if you're on a budget and just trying to figure out, okay, where would I spend the money to level up cards first? Obviously, we're assuming that you're going to get where is she? Kelia. You're able to get her to at least level 2, which would be maxed out for bronze. If you can get her to level 4, that'll be maxed out for silver. Again, that's going to be 25 BCX. So this is probably going to be your biggest investment overall, which summoners tend to be. But as you can see here, Kelia has been kind of around the $4 range, looking like a little bit over $4 at this point in time. So I might wait for things to fluctuate downwards a little bit, although who knows what's going to happen with the prices as we go along. Keep in mind that only, 2.8 million? Let's see here. 2.7 million packs have been opened. So there's still a lot of packs to go. We haven't even opened 20% of the packs. We haven't even sold 50% of the packs as of today, which is January 26th. Okay, so which are the cards that I would focus on? Well, two of the most powerful cards, in my opinion, are common cards, and they are relatively well priced, or cheaply priced. Flying Squid is one, and Deep Lurker is the other. Now, the trifecta is completed if you're able to get Demon Shark all the way up to level 4. So keep in mind, these guys can go, so these common cards can go all the way to level 5 to max out for silver, and you're going to need 60 BCX. So something like this, 60 BCX for Flying Squid times 0.08. I don't want to do this math in my head, so let's go ahead and pull up the calculator. And maybe what I'll do, and I guess it's going to have to be a follow-up to this, but you'd also be able, you'd also be able to use the Splinter Cards tool for this. But 0.08 times 60 BCX, so that's $4.8. I guess that's kind of the price of one Kelia at that point. But where would I be focusing? I would be focusing on Demon Shark, Deep Lurker, and Flying Squid. Here is your main tank. Here is here is your Reach tank, and here is Deep Lurker, who all get increased speed and increased what is that called from Kelia? Increased speed and 1 armor, although Demon Shark already has a good amount of armor on him already. So with Demon Shark, if you're able to get him to level 4, this is where you get Enrage, which makes it even better because then he becomes super fast. His speed is already at level 4, With Enrage, that means anytime you hit with magic, because it's going to take a while for people to come through on melee or ranged. So anytime you're hit with magic damage, you will increase your speed to 6, potentially 7, right, if you're playing this with Kelia. And it makes you very, very difficult to hit. On top of that, your attack goes from 3 to 5, and you have Trample, which allows you to just kind of plow through some enemies. Flying Squid is a little bit more basic. It's just the reach ability all throughout Silver. But again, at the highest level, so level 5, you have 3 damage, 4 speed, and 9 health. So this is almost a good tank in and of itself. But the fact that it has reach means that you're able to play it in conjunction with Demon Shark. And the Deep Lurker, this dude is just nasty. At level 5, you have 4 damage, 4 health, 4 speed, and 7 health. So he's meaty. He can take a hit, and he can also dish one out to the weakest opponent out there. In gold, I'm just peeking ahead, but in gold, I really love the fact that Deep Lurker also gets poison, but obviously we're not talking about gold right now. But you can see how I'm enjoying playing with these cards in gold as well. Okay, now getting back to Bakjira over here. So let's look at the legendary cards. Both of these I feel like are somewhat necessary. Bakjira is going to be your protection against magic spamming decks, right? If, for example, you know that you're going to be facing off against a really powerful magic deck, you might want to shelve or put Demon Shark on the bench, throw Bakjira in with Flying Squid on the reach, and then have some kind of healing in there, because Bakjira does not have heal until gold. But at silver, you do get an extra health as well as strengthen, which gives all of your friendly monsters an increased health. Then River Hellendale, this is where the synergies, I'm saying, come together. River Hellendale at level 1, just okay. You get Resurrect, which is kind of nice. And when you get Resurrect with someone like Demon Shark, he comes back with all of the armor that he started with. So you pair him up with Kelia, and all of a sudden he's coming back with 1 life, 1 HP, but he has 7 health for 7 armor for people to get through before they can touch that health. So if you're fighting a non-magic deck, that's when it comes in really handy, because there's all this extra armor on top that they have to get through after he's resurrected. Now the beauty of River Hellendale really shines in silver. At level 2, you get Inspire, which gives you a +1 melee attack to all of your melee monsters. So now, all of a sudden, Demon Shark, Flying Squid, and Deep Lurker are all doing an additional damage per turn. So these guys are absolute units dishing out some punishment. My favorite other part within the Chaos Legion, deck here is Wave Brood. I've actually really started enjoying playing with Wave Brood a lot more, mainly as a distraction. Now, the thing is, you can only get up to level 3 with over here. So Wave Brood does 2 damage, but the speed of 1 really doesn't account for much. He's just a nice meat shield that I'll throw at the end of my units, or at the back of my units, to have all of the opponent's units focus in on him. And with 13 health, it's a decent amount of time to, for them to take him out. Now, this can be further helped by getting Angelic Mandarin to level 4. This is maxed for silver, where you have Triage. Because now, with Angelic Mandarin, you are able to then heal somebody in the back line. So Wave Brood being in the back line is healable by Angelic Mandarin, right? So it's a nice little combo there. I don't run it too much, honestly, because I would rather focus on power and damage and just have Wave Brood be the distraction for as long as he's able to be a distraction. On top of that, sometimes he'll get resurrected. He'll be the one to be resurrected by River Hellendale, and he'll come back with, 1 HP and 1 armor, which could potentially take 2 more hits for your opponents to essentially waste. That might be going to some of the weaker people on your team. Now, Murdali Guardian, super basic. There's nothing super special about this. Yes, once you get it to level 4 for silver, it has tank heal from the get-go, so you just have a little bit faster speed and some extra health. But where this card really shines for me is in gold, but obviously we're not going to get there. Although I should be talking a little bit more about gold, because if your aspirations are to get to gold eventually, I do love actually a lot of these cards at gold. So I think that covers the majority of the cards here. I don't use Igor Darkspear very much. Again, you're going to have to wait until you get to silver, to gold for stun. And then Kulu Swim Hunter, I don't really use personally that much. And again, at silver, you're going to do 2 damage, 4 mana. It's not terrible. Your speed isn't great, but makes for a decent ranged attacker if you need one for that. But if I'm doing melee attacks, or I'm sorry, if I'm doing something with water, ranged attackers just really aren't the forte here. So having all of these guys, right, and then pairing them with some of the new rewards cards. So for example, Pelicore Bandit, right? Pelicore Bandit at level 5 has 2 damage, 4 speed, and 4 health, does sneak and has flying. Now again, with Kalia, gets +1 speed, so all of a sudden they have a speed of 5, they have an extra armor, and with River Hellendale, now they're doing 3 damage to the back line. That comes in really, really clutch. Wavesmith is another card that obviously has gone down tremendously in price. Remember when these things were $8 individually? They're 15 cents now. It's out of control. It's absolutely out of control. But with Wavesmith, there's nothing special, although at level 4, which is maxed for silver, you do get 2 damage, 2 magic damage, which is nice. And then Protect gives your monsters gives all your friendly monsters +2 armor. So that comes in even more handy. And in rule sets like Weak Magic, where magic is required to hit armor, having Kalia plus Venari Wavesmith just adds essentially like 3 more overall hit points to your entire team. Really, really clutch. And then we've talked a lot about O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy doesn't have as much of a place on my team as much as he used to before. But if I am going with for example, a non-melee deck, let's say it's not the opposite of up close and personal, where it's just magic and ranged attacks, O'Shaughnessy still comes in clutch, as well as you can pair him up with Bakjira. And all of a sudden, now you have 2 essentially pseudo tanks that are working to fight off, a lot of the magic damage that you might be expecting in, right? I think that is it. River Nymph is great for cleanse if you're playing in any kind of rule set that has, well, let's put it this way. If you're playing in any kind of rule set, in like a poison rule set, or if you're playing against like Dr. Blight or somebody that has poison or affliction, cleanse will clean that off. Now at level 4, you do get amplify, but there is nobody really on the water team, both here and in the rewards cards that make it worthwhile. I don't think there's anybody that has Magic Reflect, Thorns, or Return Fire. At least not at the bronze or silver level. So River Nymph is good, and I use River Nymph primarily just for the cleanse option during poison rule sets. But that's it, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to give you all the different kind of strategies and rule sets that I would use the water deck for, but I find myself using water a lot more these days, and a lot more, and I find myself using O'Shaughnessy, for example, a lot less than I used to, just because Ulrich is no longer in the starter deck. So that being said, there's a ton of great cards here. The synergy is fantastic, and I think it's one of the best splinters overall for just synergy within. So I didn't even talk about Nerissa Tridon, and Nerissa Tridon is very straightforward. You get this max to level 3, and all of a sudden you're doing 3 damage per turn. Magic damage, she can take a hit. I don't use it that much. It's just a lot of mana for not many other benefits. There's a lot of other cards that I would rather use. But that's all I got for you guys in this video today. I wanted to kind of do a little bit more in-depth into which Splinter I would focus on if I was just starting out, or if I wanted to focus on leveling up a specific Splinter first. This is the one that I would do, and hopefully now you understand why. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.